So welcome back. I've been trying for the last year to introduce this project, but life and circumstances have kept me from getting started. So what is it? It's a 1952 Chevy 3100 pickup. Now, no, this isn't mine. It actually belongs to a friend of mine. I've known her since we were in high school. This was her dad's truck. Now, sadly, he passed away whenever she was very young. This is the only thing that is left that was his. So, needless to say, this is a very special project for her. She called me about 2 years ago and told me that she had gotten her dad's old truck. She sent me some pictures of it. Looked pretty good in the photos. She told me that all her and her husband wanted to do is just get it back on the road. Asked if I could help. So what's wrong with it? I think the easiest question would be, what isn't wrong with it? I mean, let's take a look. So for starters, it's got the old inline six. Now those are cool engines, but if you're not a car person and you don't enjoy tinkering with this stuff, it's not the engine for you. You're not going to want to adjust the valves every 3,000 miles whenever you change the oil. I know there's some people that do hydraulic lifter conversions, but the floors are gone. I mean, no, they're still there, but they are very thin. You can see through them in spots. You know it needs a new fuel tank. You know it needs new fuel lines. You know the brakes are gone. We're going to need master cylinder and brake lines and the whole deal. All the glass needs to be replaced. The front and the back glass are delaminating. I mean, the vent windows are busted. There's a lot of places where rust has been painted over. We know the suspension needs to be completely rebuilt. I mean, everything needs to be redone on it. And at what point do you say, okay, that's enough? This is all I have to do just to get it on the road. I mean, it needs everything. So what's the plan? Well, for starters, I'm going to change that god-awful color scheme. Now, for those that don't know and don't understand, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Okay, I live in Alabama. And when you're born in Alabama, you're forced to pick a side. You either pull for the Alabama Crimson Tide or the Auburn Tigers. Guess who her dad pulled for? That's right, he was a big Alabama fan. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the mascot, it's an elephant, and its nickname is Big Al. So I'm calling this Little Al. No, I won't be doing a red and white color scheme, but I will be doing something that is tasteful that falls in that vein. So, utilizing ChatGPT and some clever prompts, I was able to make a few renderings, and send it to them, and got their approval. I actually did a video on that if you want to check it out. So the plan for the overall look of it is going to be medium to dark gray with a dark red maroon interior and engine. Keep the running boards black, just like they were from the factory. Frame will be black. Inner fenders will be black. Steering column and steering wheel will be black. Keep the rubber floor mat, which will be black. But the seat, sun visors, the headliner, the door cards, the door panels will all be red. A dark red, maroon, almost maroon. So not a crimson, but, tasteful. The problem, it's a very tight budget. Very tight. So how are we going to get there? Well, we got to do what's quickest, what's the most cost efficient. So we won't be buying a Roadster Shop chassis. And we won't be spraying it with $7,000 worth of Glazeret paint products. Won't be running 20-inch wheels. Nor will we be using a new LS crate engine. So instead, I'm going to be using a S10 chassis. I just picked it up yesterday. Also yesterday, I managed to score a small block 350 with a turbo 350 transmission. I'll probably be getting a lot of stuff from LMC, a lot of stuff from Speedway Motors. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as paint goes, but it may just have to be something like a single stage acrylic enamel. I don't know yet. Now, I need to add something here, and I don't want to make it weird, and I don't want to get too sappy, all right? But I need to tell you why this project is important to me. Now, my friend's name is Selena. Okay, so I don't want to have to keep saying my friend. All right, so Selena herself is not in the best of health. Okay, she's already had 2 kidney transplants. She's doing okay, but so it's important to me that this gets done in a timely manner. Now, like I said, the budget is tight. I mean, they've got some money to put towards it, but these cars are all the same. I mean, they will take as much money as you want to throw at it. So I really need some help. Now, she has no idea that I have a YouTube channel. She has no idea that I'm going to be doing a build series on this, and I'm not going to tell her. Now, I don't have a big channel, obviously, but if you guys could just, if you're watching this, if you could just give it a like, give the videos on this, just don't worry about, I'm not worried about my other ones. Just this build series, if you can just give those videos a like or leave some comments on those videos, that'll help, or share them. That'll help tremendously, because that lets YouTube know that this needs to be pushed a little bit. The more we can get this in front of people, then the easier it'll be to be able to complete this project and give them something special. I would love it if, you know, that when this was done, if we could do a debut, like maybe a live or whatever, and give them their truck and actually be able to give them every dollar back that they put into it. And I know that's I know that's dreaming, okay? But it would be cool if that could happen. But regardless, if we can just get it built. All right, so the next thing to do is going to be to get this thing in the shop and then start disassembling. Start the disassembly process, it's always a good idea to make sure you got plenty of Ziploc bags. Just bag and tag everything, because it's almost impossible to remember where everything goes. Also, get yourself a notebook that is dedicated to that project and divide that notebook into categories. That way you can keep up with anything you might need, any kind of parts that need to be replaced, a bolt list as you're taking things apart. If you're not going to reuse that bolt, then write down what it is. It's a lot more efficient to write down the bolts you need as you're taking it apart, instead of waiting until after the thing's disassembled, and then you got to go through all the bags and count every nut and bolt that you need. You just go ahead and write it down as you're taking it apart. A lot quicker. I like to keep a notes section. This allows me to keep up with things like hinge orientation or something like order of assembly. And what I mean by that is, take a door, for example. I mean, the vent glass, the door glass, the door window channel, the latches, all that stuff goes in a certain order. And you figure that out as you're taking it apart. So write it down. And then once everything's painted and you're going back together with it, it makes life a lot easier. All right, I got to keep going. Good news, bad news. I knew the bed floor was double layer. I knew the bottom layer was just a rotten piece of plywood. I wasn't sure what the top layer was. Now that I've gotten it off, it appears to be a sheet of aluminum. 16 gauge for a 1/16 of an inch thick. Got a magnet, nothing sticks to it. When I scratch it with a screwdriver, I mean, it looks just like aluminum. So good news, I've got a junky 4x6 sheet of aluminum. Bad news, the bed's toast. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's start in the front. For starters, let me zoom in so you can tell. See that seal, that cross seal has got holes all in it, so that needs to be replaced. This front bed panel, you see all the dents in it? Pretty well beat up. Take a lot of hammering and dialing in to get that straightened out. But I don't know what's going on here. This looks like this rusty piece of angle that looks like, in places, it looks like it was welded on with a stick welder. Also, that cross seal is welded to the bedside. It's not supposed to be. This cross seal is, I mean, it needs to be replaced, you can see. And it's welded to the bedsides as well, and it's not even supposed to be there. Instead, it's supposed to be here, where this piece of angle iron is welded in. Anyhow, you can see we got holes in the bedsides. Same thing up front, you can see. So, okay, the tailgate. I don't know what all is going on with this thing. You can see it's separating on both sides, but this driver's side is the worst. I don't know. So we got splits. And it's, as you can see, it's really beat up as well. I mean, some of this from the spot welds, you can see these spot welds. From the spot welds this way, I mean, you can't get in and hammer and dolly any of this stuff. Looks like there's been some welding going on here. Kind of contemplating just getting a new bed and tailgate. I mean, at the very least, I would need a new front panel and the cross seals. But I don't know, man. These bedsides are really beat up, and the rust holes and stuff, I mean, I could fix all that, but these bedsides, I'm pretty sure are 16 gauge, which is a little more difficult to work with. Not as easy as 18. I know beds are expensive, but I don't know that I wouldn't come out ahead just buying a new bed versus fixing everything. I don't know if I can fix it for what a new one would cost. So I knew it was somewhat rough. I just didn't think it was this rough. It just kind of messes up the budget. But that's what these old cars do, right? They mess up the budgets. Okay, I'm gonna get back at it. Well, I finally got everything disassembled. The cab is unbolted. It's ready to come off the frame. The next thing on the list is gonna be sandblasting and rust repair. Sandblasting, I'm gonna do that. I actually bought one of those cheap $30 Amazon kits that converts your pressure washer into a sandblaster. We'll see, I'll give it a shot. So sandblasting, and I've got to get some replacement panels coming. I'm gonna have to replace the front half of the floor, the toe boards, the kick panels, the cab corners. Anyway, just a whole lot of stuff. Probably gonna have to get a new bed. Also, the body mounts, I'm gonna be using the Russ D kit, if you follow him on Facebook or whatever. Looks like a pretty complete kit. I also got his motor mount kit and transmission mount kit. All right, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap this video up. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you continue to stick around. You know all the things, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Anyway, this is just a real special project for me, and I hope you continue to check it out and follow along with this whole series. I think it's going to be pretty cool. All right, I'll see you in the next one.